Elvedon Park is hosting the Auto 66 Club penultimate round of the Scooter Racing Championship. Amongst the riders today we have Jon Uffindell. Jon is 33 and from Essex. He's been racing scooters for a year and rides a Vespa Piaggio Zip. With him today are his wife Paula, his teammate Stuart and his team owner Paul Baker. Jon is racing today in the Solo Scooter Championship. He rides in Group 10, which is for automatics up to 70cc.
Scooter racing started officially, I suppose, 68, 69, but we called it high-speed regularity trial. And what we did, we set in possibly fast times, so everybody was actually racing.
In the 60s, scooter racing was big because obviously scooters were big, weren't they? Mods and rockers and all that, but scooter racing was big. Sort of died, like motorbikes died really in the 70s. Less people bought motorbikes now. It's just coming back, isn't it?
It surprises a lot of people. They don't realise how fast the scooters are. You know, I go to work and some of the guys at work have got bikes and things like that, and they say, oh, you know, little shopping trolley things, you know, you have your shopping basket on the back, you know. No, it's really surprising when they realise how fast they go. They can keep up with the bikes.
To actually ride the thing, you just got to leave your brain in the toolbox and just get on with it.
It's a fairly amateur-based sport, and there's not a lot of, you don't see a great deal of motorhomes around and such like. So it suits our level to a certain extent.
I ride in Group 10, which is automatic scooters, which is what this one here is.
Jon's is a Piaggio Zip, based on a 50cc model you can go and buy and go down the shops on, with mostly kit parts supplied from Italy, because there's a big racing scene in Italy.
Jon is hoping for a 4th place finish today, as he did recently in North Wales. But what do his fellow scooter enthusiasts think of him?
It's very smooth, Jon. You can follow him and you can follow his lines because he's a very smooth rider.
He's done really well. Yeah, he's good. As I said to him before, it's going to take a few years to get into it because it's totally different to being on the road. Just take it one race at a time and learn the circuits, because you can't expect to learn all the circuits in a year and be on the pace. You're just got to take your time and learn the scooter, learn how it handles, braking, all that stuff, and it will come there in the end.
Jon at the moment is still learning how to ride and get the best out of the bike, really. He's at the moment still a little wild and erratic, and hasn't really got a feel for what the what the bike's doing and what needs changing on the bike to make it better.
Jon is fine. I mean, just watching the races, he doesn't stick out. So I would just say he's just an average rider. He's in the pack there, not doing anything silly, nothing fantastic, but he is a relatively new guy. Some guys are instantly superstars, but the vast majority work at it.
He's quick, and he's shown on a couple of occasions this season already that he can ride with the faster riders out there. It's just a matter of being more consistent now.
Back to the event, and as all true scooter racers do, camping the night before is a must. With the bike cleaned and scrutineered and a quick change into racing leathers, Jon is ready to go.
Just getting prepared, all my leathers on and check my helmet, ready for practice. I think we get 5 laps. Practice 5 laps. So not very long really. My itinerary on race day would be start, you get up basically. Practice is usually about 10 AM. Then the first race could be as early as 11. But usually scooters are usually first race be about midday, and then you have your other 2 races after dinner.
A race bike, if we look at the Zip for example, compared to a road bike, obviously lights are removed, the suspension is generally upgraded, and the engine in particular is much modified, using performance parts off the shelf, in particular with the Zip. The Lambretta is a much more involved prospect. A lot of parts have to be made rather than bought off the shelf, which makes life a lot more difficult.
Practice has just gone really, really well. The bike's going absolutely brilliant. So I'm really hoping for a good result in the race.
On race day, the first job is to go through the bike, make sure again that everything is tight, nuts are tight, everything is as it should be. Final check of tyre pressures, fuel the bike up, and then the bike is scrutineered and make sure the riders are ready. That's it, really.
One of the problems with scooter racing is that the rules and points system are quite confusing. Even though the bikes are separated into different classes, they all race at the same time. The points are worked out after all the scooters are in and then broken up into the relevant classes. Confused? You're not the only ones.
Well, I ain't that clued up with it myself. I mean, it amazes me the way they do the scoring. But I mean, we've got so many different classes in one. So I mean, it looks, you know, when we're all out there, it's like everyone's opened up on the field.
It's all Dutch to me. I don't fully understand the point system. It's a very, very strange setup.
I have no idea. I have no idea. Stuart, I think, knows how it works. He'll probably be able to tell you, but I have no idea. Haven't got a clue. There's something about when you get to the end of the year as well, and if you've got too many points, they take some points away from you or something, but it's a bit complicated. So, yeah, Stuart probably explain to you a bit more about that. It's too complicated. I think it's only the organisers that know how it works. Everyone just goes along with it.
Luckily, we found someone who could explain it just that little bit clearer.
Every class winner will get 30 points. Then it goes 27 for second, 25 for third, 24 for fourth, and down 1 point like that. You then, on top of that, just to slightly complicate it, you have bonus points up to a maximum of 5 in your class that you have beaten. This is because of we have this peculiar anomaly where we still try to get an overall British champion, despite that we have several classes running together. And this is proved over the years. That is how we just sort that out, so that we get a fair overall champion at the end of the year. But it does make it complicated to the casual observer.
Hopefully we've whet your appetite for a bit of scooter racing, so hold on to your handlebars because after the break we'll see how John's getting on in the racing.
The flywheel's starting to split. We've got two big cracks running right through the flywheel there, one there and one there. And if we leave, I think there's one up there as well. If we left it on there, it'd just fly to bits.
We'll give you some advice on how to get into the sport.
It's a very competitive motorsport to get into for not a lot of money.
And some of this.